Hello everyone, this is Shark Nice, and I'm doing a tutorial for Lord of the Rings Battle of Helm's Deep, the StarCraft 2 arcade game. I'm doing the Saruman tutorial this time. So I started a game with myself on another computer just to kind of show you what you're supposed to do, because it's a tutorial. So basically Saruman, you're all these purple guys, which are green on the mini-map. That's who I'm playing. And your goal is you have to basically break through all of the Helm's Deep. This is like all the Helm's Deep fortress. You have to break through here, and your end goal is to kill all of the Women of Rohan. And basically all of them start right here. So in order to do that, you have to get through these gates, and these gates you can't kill the gates, you actually have to kill the gate hinge, and this is the main gate hinge, and once you kill that, you get through here, these things will just blow up, and you'll be able to get up here, and then your next goal is basically to kill the Great Hall, and the longer Rohan keeps the Great Hall, the more reinforcements they get, because reinforcements come from here. So as soon as you kill that, the sooner the better. So after you kill that, you'll make your way up to here. These are just a bunch of statues for the heroes, because Rohan can give the heroes units. The heroes are these units right here: Gimli, Aragorn, Legolas. So then after you kill that stuff, you make your way up to here, and here's the keep gate hinge. And these gates will normally be up. The good guys, they can actually raise and lower these gates at will until you kill these gate hinges. So you kill this gate hinge, you get through here, then you have to work your way through these caves, and then kill these women. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So Saruman, you have this whole huge army, and you basically get unlimited respawns with this army, but you also have these special units. Like these are Urkai captains. This is Grima, Wormtongue. You get some ballistas, and you get some elite Urkai. And ballistas, you get two new ones every 2 minutes or something. Not sure the exact number. And you don't get reinforcements with these, so use them. Be really careful when you're using them. So you can just select all your units and go and attack. But it's much easier if you just use this Urkai Master. And as you can see, there's hero hotkeys for them. I like to hotkey them myself. As you can see, I hotkey this as 7. That's actually Q for me. And this doesn't die, so you don't need to worry about it getting hit from turrets or anything. It's unkillable. And then you just press mass, and that will mass all of your underlings. It doesn't control these guys, so you don't need to worry about that. And these guys go and kill the enemy. And there is a way. So as you see here, they just go and attack to where I click mass, wherever this master is. So once I lose all these units, you'll see here that more spawn. So my army just respawned there. And if I press it again, they'll go and attack again. But another thing you can do is you can turn on auto mass. So once you turn on auto mass, any units, as soon as they spawn, they'll instantly start running over to this. So just wait for all those units to die, and you'll see how that works out. So as you can see, they spawn and they instantly started attacking. It's actually an attack move. They don't just move over there. So you can just set that up to how you want it, and everything will move along. As you can see, one of these ballistas got stuck in the mass, so you have to be careful for that. So basically the first thing you should be doing as Saruman is a really nice thing to do is help out Ugluk and his army by killing this thing. He can kill it himself, but it's actually really nice if you just kill it for them. So basically what I do is I take these Urkai captains and I hockey them, and then Grima Wormtongue. And Grima Wormtongue is your most important hero besides Saruman, because Grima Wormtongue has this magical shield ability, and I'll show you what that is. So normally, if your units got over here, they just die really fast to these things because they do 250 damage. But Grima Wormtongue has a shield spell. See right here? It's basically it's kind of like the shield from the well, it's just a shield. This point defense drone does, you know, it doesn't really do anything. So anything under here can't die from ranged attack. It can die from melee attack things like this hot oil trap, which is a flamethrower. So you gotta keep that in mind. So basically this great support that you want to kill has 100 armor. So, and as you can see, these units only do 25 damage, 35. So the only units that can actually hurt this, even your siege tanks can't hurt this. Siege tanks do 100 damage, so they'll just do 0 damage because 100 armor, 100 damage, 100 minus 100 is 0. So you need something that can do more than 100 damage, and as you can see, these Urkai captains do 200 damage. So the way that you help Brown out is you go deploy your magical shield, and then you bring these guys under here so they don't get hurt, and then you shoot that. And as soon as that dies, all of these traps become vulnerable. Before you couldn't kill them, but now you can. So basically, that's how you help Brown. And I have controlled Brown just because I have no player there. But so he would go off and attack, and his goal is to go kill all these elves. But this is the tutorial of Saruman, so I'll show you how that works. So as you can see, I did take some damage. I lost a little bit of hit points on my units, and you can always heal your units with this evil heal. This is the only place you can heal your units as an evil character. But you just bring your unit there, he heals, and then he pops up over there. The good guys have different heals, but you can't use those. You can only use the evil heal. So after you do that, your next goal is to kill your main gate hinge so you can get inside. You don't even necessarily have to kill this hinge, but it's just a nice thing to do. And these heroes probably shouldn't be doing that. They should go heal. But so right now I have automass on, and I'm going to turn that off because I don't want all of my units to clog up this area, because I want to be able to get into this area so I can use my heroes on this, because this also has 100 armor. So I can't really even be damaged by these guys. These enemy siege tanks do 200 damage. So if you run your unit up next to this, and you can get a little bit of splash damage and maybe do 50 damage per hit once ever the siege tanks hit the units next to it, but that'll take forever to kill it that way. So basically, I grab all of my heroes and I bring them all together to kind of protect them, and then I make them hold position over here. Let's turn off automass. But see, I lost. Alright, so this is probably one of the hardest things to do as Saruman, and it's one of the first things you have to do, but so once you kind of master this technique, you can be a pretty good Saruman. So basically what I usually do is I send Green, he can always open these gates and send zealots at you when you use the Dark Swarm. And if you remember, any melee unit can damage anything under the Dark Swarm, so you don't want to let him do that. And also splash damage can damage units under Dark Swarm, so you gotta be careful about these tanks. So basically what I do is I send my mass over to the side to block Green from being able to send zealots. I send my mass over to the side, then I send some over to this side and hold position there, so that they will block Green from sending zealots, and then you're kind of safer to use your guy over here. So you have to Dark Swarm up, or it used to be Dark Swarm in StarCraft 1, but now it's called this Magical Shield. Basically you have to cast your spell under there without losing Green Wormtongue, and that's kind of hard because there's traps here that can kill him. So what I tend to do is I bring these units over to absorb the damage, then I deploy my shield and run away. And see, he's still got hit a little bit, so I'm sending him back to heal. And as soon as you do that, you want to bring your stalkers in here and then shoot this. And you kind of want to spread them out a little bit because these siege tanks will kill them. So as you can see, I couldn't even kill it in one time because my stalkers would have died, but I already lowered it by 1/4. That's kind of why this is so hard. You can't just use your stalkers easily. Another way you can do it is if you use Saruman. The only thing is you have to be really careful when you use Saruman, because if you lose Saruman, you don't get your spawn anymore. And so basically you'll lose if you lose Saruman. He's your most important character. So you got to be really careful when you use him. And you can kill this thing faster with him, but it's riskier in a lot of ways. But I'll just show you what I would do when I use Saruman. So I bring Grima up here. Then I get Saruman. And he has 50 armor, so he doesn't take as much damage from these tanks. He actually barely takes any because the shield, only the splash damage does damage, and they barely do any damage. And you gotta be really careful not to go out of the shield. As you can see, I lost a ton of health by just going out of the shield for a second. Alright. So I killed that, and as you can see, these gates went away. So now I can kill all this stuff that before was invulnerable. So I'm gonna mass over here and start killing all this stuff. And normally by the time you kill this, Brown would have had made more progress over here because someone would actually be playing as him. But no one is right now. So one thing that I do sometimes is I siege up a bunch of tanks over here just to kill everything faster. Because as you can see here, there is a time limit. It's actually 45 minutes, but I started recording a little bit late. So you're working against the clock. Basically all the good guys have to do is just hold out till that time ends, and then they'll win because Gandalf will come and save the day. So you have to kill all the women basically before that time runs out. So usually you want to kill these traps too. Nothing too exciting there. So the next one thing that you have to worry about is Green's heroes here. They have a ton of, they do like a ton of damage. Like this guy does 245 or 275 versus armored, and he also has that hardened shield thing. So you can only basically do 10 damage or something, 20, I think it's 20 damage, maybe 10, till he loses that shield. And there's Eomer, Theoden, Hamma, Eowyn, and these Knights of Rohan, they're Goliaths, they do a lot of damage too. You have to worry about those. Normally, normally green would not just like leave all of his stuff here. Normally they fall back, but I am actually playing both characters right now, so I have to fall back myself.
Your forces are under attack.
Alright, so the next objective is to kill this Great Hall. And this usually isn't too hard to kill. Usually green will tend to fall back and make a pretty strong defense up here. But sometimes they do have a defense going here. Basically to break it you just need to use Dark Swarms in your heroes. Kind of like when I killed the regular thing.
Your forces are under attack.
One thing to note is if you put if you get your Urukai Master in the right spot, your army will kind of split using both of these, using both sides of this. I think it's about right here. We'll see in my next spawn. But it's good to have your army running on both sides, so then they have to defend two fronts. And there's no penalty for, you know, losing all your army because you get it back. So, one good way is to use your tanks on this part. If you siege your tanks up right here, you can actually hit this Great Hall, and that'll usually force green to retreat. So I'll show you that quick. And if they start attacking your tanks, I usually throw a Dark Swarm on there so I don't lose my tanks. And see, now I'm killing this Great Hall. And once I kill that, green will stop getting this enormous amounts of units that he's gotten because I've taken so long to do it. See, he's been destroyed. Now he'll no longer get additional units there. He just has to use the units that he already has. One thing you can do instead of attacking each one of these cannons, just like regular StarCraft, you can just destroy the tent, which is the pylon. Will unpower all the cannons. But the cannons do have less health than the tent. Well, the tent has 10 armor, these have 1 armor. So they are easier to kill. But if you kill this, all 4 of them are useless. So after I kill that, I usually move my Master up to here and start attacking this. And as you can see, they can raise these gates up to stop anyone from getting in.
Your forces are under attack.
And this, again, this has 75 armor, so it's not as much as these other hinges have. But it's still quite a bit of armor. So you'll want to use heroes on it. So I'll show you how you do that. One way that a lot of people do it is they just bring tanks over here, because you can actually kill this one with tanks since it only has 75 armor and tanks do 100 damage. So people will bring their tanks right there and set them up. One thing you do have to worry about is they can, like, you know, send zealots and kill your tanks or stuff like that. Also, another thing you need to worry about is a lot of times green will move his tanks to right here, and then they will shoot your tanks. Sometimes they have them set up before. They'll have their tanks set up here and they'll shoot your tanks so you can't kill it. So you can kill it with tanks. The way that I like to kill it is I just use the Dark Swarm like the other ones. So you put the Dark Swarm here, and then you use your stalkers. Spreading them out so it doesn't do splash damage on this other guy. Alright. So now that I've breached that, I can get my units all the way up here. So I'll typically, once I break that, I'll move my Urkai Master all the way over to here, because eventually you're going to want your guys to run through there and get all the way over here.
Your forces are under attack.
And you can always deploy tanks here to kill these fortifications faster. It's a fun thing to do. So one thing that I haven't really shown you because no one else is playing is that heroes, how to deal with enemy heroes. So to deal with enemy heroes, you have a few different things you can do. A few different tools that you have. Let's get it back there for now. You have your own, blink stalkers that can blink in and shoot them quick, but they can always just run away. So you got to be careful. You have your huge elite Urkai that you can use to surround enemies, but they can run away from that too. So it's that doesn't always work. Grima Wormtongue, you have this corruption spell. So if you cast that on one of the enemy units, it does an extra 20% damage. That's helps a lot. But the best hero killer is Saruman himself. You have a force field. You can actually deploy. You have enough energy for 2 force fields. So you could block the unit inside the force field. And then when you have him blocked in, then you can use all your heroes to do damage from him while he's blocked in away from the army so he's not protected. Because they can always just go and heal. And you can't really stop them from going and healing when they're protected by their whole army. So that's the obvious way that you can trap heroes. But the not so obvious way, unless you played StarCraft 1, is the Shadow Clone. And this is kind of like, this is a lot similar to the regular clone in, or the hallucinations in the campaign and regular melee multiplayer games, except for you actually have to pick the unit that you want to clone. So I picked this guy, and it creates 2 clones of him right around him. And these clones can't do any damage. It says damage here, but being a clone, they don't actually do damage. But they do have the same amount of health as the other thing. So they're really hard to kill. And they will die as soon as their bar ends, or else they'll die as soon as they just get shot to death, like anything else. But the way that you trap heroes with that is, I'll show you quick. So let's see. Let's have him bring a hero over here. So, as you can see, he has a hero there. If I bring Saruman over here, I can do shadow clones and trap him. So I just did a bunch of shadow clones. I'll hold position on those shadow clones, and he can't move, and they'll also try to attack them. And while he's trapped here, you can kill him. So that's basically how you use Saruman to trap enemies. And another thing you can do with these clones is you can just, use them to soak up a bunch of damage, because they have a bunch of health, because you made a clone of a hero. But you can see that they're not doing any damage at all. So if the enemy knows you have clones coming in, they'll probably try to target fire the actual real units. So typically after you break this, green will move all of his units from over here, and he'll move them all into the cave. So I'll do that quick.
Your forces are under attack. Your forces are under attack. Your forces are under attack.
Alright, I'll just show you the kind of defense that green is setting up since I'm doing that on my other
Your
computer.
forces are under attack. Your forces are under attack.
This is a typical defense that green tends to set up.
Your forces are under attack.
See, they'll put their tanks right here. They'll have their heroes standing in front there. And then they'll have the Goliaths right behind the heroes. And the whole point of this is these heroes have a lot of armor. So they basically use these to soak up the damage, and then everything behind them does the damage. And then as soon as these get low on health, they take them back over here and they heal them, and then they run them back. So they'll try to do that in between your masses. They'll try to go heal their units. So you have to use, you can't just, keep sending your mass and then think you're going to defeat this, because you're not going to make much progress. You have to use like the shield and stuff to kill that. And basically I showed you how to use the shield a bunch of times, so you should, have a good idea on how to break that. Another way that you can break this is you bring your siege tanks over here, and as your mass is in here and their tanks are shooting your mass, you set up your siege tanks will kill their siege tanks, and then you can use it to kill that too. Another thing to do is use these guys. Put your shield up there. Since these guys are melee units, they can still do damage, and try to kill all this stuff. So as you can see, I let the time run out, and once the time runs out, this is what you have to deal with. There's all of these Riders of Rohan and Gandalf the White, and they do a ton of damage. And then you have these Ents, and then you have trees, and they do a ton of damage too. And as soon as they get all these guys, they're gonna go after your commanders, and then basically they'll win the game because another thing is, once this timer runs out, you don't get any more reinforcements unless you kill Gandalf. So let's see, I'll show you that. I'm sending my mass in, and once I lose this mass, I don't get any more unless I happen to kill Gandalf. So yeah, that's basically it for the tutorial. It's a lot more exciting when you're playing a real game. As you can see, there's just, tons of units in this game, tons of death. It's pretty fun. And hopefully you've learned something, so then I'll see you playing online. Thanks.